Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another Mortal Kombat review, where we do Storm Collectibles, unboxings, Mcfarlane, and so on. What we have here is a very rare, the original Mcfarlane Sub-Zero in the original colours, which is very hard to get hold of. I was very lucky to get hold of him second hand without his box, but we do have everything here, and we can absolutely take a look at him and see exactly what to expect. So as you can see, this is a very nice Sub-Zero. It's very beautiful face moulding and the face sculpt. You can see particularly like the eyes that have been drawn. He has a scar down the eye, as Sub-Zero is meant to. One very strange thing is this part here. When the head moves, the head and neck is one sculpt, as you can see. And when the head moves back and forth, there is this bit of zero space there. So to have your Sub-Zero without that zero space, he has to be looking down just a little bit. So that's a little mild irritation. Camera, if you're focus. So let's see the articulation. The shoulders should move. They are very stiff. Once again, this is the same friend that got me the Mortal Kombat 1 Scorpion that managed to find me this. So again, very thankful to him. Don't know if he wants his name mentioned, but if he does, it will be down in the comment section below. So be sure to give him a shout out. And he's also very good at finding rare Mortal Kombat figures. So very good for that. So the arm, very happy to slide forward and backwards, but doesn't want to move this direction. It's very refusal there. Let's try this one. This one's much more flexible, as you can see. Oh, he grabbed the camera there. But yes, this one, a lot more movement. Arm swivel, the double elbow joint, which as you can see, that's as far as it will go. That's as far as the plastic will allow. The hand is on this wrist joint, as per usual. No additional hands with the Mcfarlane line, that's only with the Storm Collectible ones. But no, this shoulder is a little bit, there we go, just with a little bit of force, we can get that up. Now you can see the inside part here. This is very interesting, the way that it's been done. It looks like it's meant to have body movement in the inside, but the plastic doesn't seem to really allow it, so we're not going to try and force that. The legs, it'd probably do split further, but the plastic here is slightly preventing it, so you can get into a good enough pose. It looks like it could bend further, but I don't want to go risking damaging these parts here. As you can see, he's got the Lin Kuei symbol. I believe that's the Lin Kuei symbol. If it would focus. Focus camera, come on. There we go. He has the various daggers attached to him, which Sub-Zero does have in the Mortal Kombat 11 game. He also, I don't know if we can pick this up on camera, but oh, there we go. This is actually all pattern across here, which is very nice to see, along with the trousers and everything as well, so this isn't plain. The knee is a double knee bend joint, which goes pretty far. It's again more daggers at the ankle, and then the foot pivot. And the ankle does turn a tiny amount, but not too much. It does turn this way and this way, but it doesn't give much on the directional side. And the other leg, exactly the same. I think this knee maybe bends a little bit here, but it's not going, that's as far as that knee seems to go. But the other leg does come in for a lot more of the bend. So you can get into those very cool poses. And as with Mcfarlane, the limbs click into position. So you have to find that sweet spot to get them to stand nicely. Which is always a little bit of a pain when it comes with Mcfarlane stuff. But not to worry, because he does come with some accessories. So you can sit there for just now. The first accessory is, of course, the little foot peg which keeps your character standing nicely. So this just shoves it right in to that little foot peg there. Just clip that into the bottom like so. And now your character will stand in pretty much any pose you want him to, because he has that nice foot base, which is very good for the posability of your characters. I'm going to move the camera down just a little bit so we can see the actual feet of Sub-Zero. So yes, there we have him on his little pedestal. And he comes with 3 additional accessories. So the first 2 are the ice axes, which he uses quite a lot in Mortal Kombat 11. He uses this as a throwing weapon as well as part of his fatal blow. As you can see, it's very well detailed. It's translucent. It has all the parts on it. And it also has this very nice ridge part here, which is obviously where it is meant to be held. So we'll try putting this in his hand. Now, these are hard plastic hands, not soft plastic like Storm Collectibles have. So you do have to give it a little bit of a push to try and get that in there. Let's take a little bit of a look up here. What is the better way to do it? Is it to push it in like so? To try and get it past this base part here? Or is it to open up the thumb and try and push this in? This is quite a thick axe as well, so it's not the easiest thing to get into a hand. Sometimes you'll see this taken off camera, but you can see that giving it a bit of a struggle there. There we go, we finally got in there. Just pushing the hands forward. Right, well, we can't get it over this little bit because this little bit here is preventing us. But there you have the rough idea of what the first axe should look like. And you can put them into various nice little poses, like so, with that. But rather than put the other axe into the other hand, for speed purposes, I'm going to show you the other accessory, which is this very cool frozen skull and spine, which anyone knows Sub-Zero's fatality, or one of his fatalities, the most recognised one probably, is the spinal rip, which is taken from Predator, where he rips the person's head and spine out of their body. And this is the frozen variation one. So you can see there's an actual area that the hand is supposed to grip around, where the spikes of the spine stop here, so that the hand can grip around this area here. But in order to do that, we have to actually open up the hand just a little bit so that this can fit in. It just occurred to me that this is Sub-Zero's left hand, and this should really be in his right hand. But no, it's done now. Let us continue. So, as you can see, what we're trying to do here is we're trying to pull apart these fingers to just fit this neck part in here, like so. I'm just going to try and do this off camera for just a second. It's giving me a little bit of trouble. It certainly is a little bit of a problem, so do expect, if you get your Sub-Zero figure, to go through some of this yourself. Because, once again, these hands are hard plastic, not soft plastic, so they're not quite as flexible as the Storm Collectible ones are. And you don't want to try and push too hard, because this is quite a rare figure. But there we go, you can see that I've managed to get the finger, the thumb in, so it's just a case of turning the head around, and there you have it. So Sub-Zero can hold that aloft as if he is calling upon the powers of Grayskull. He can hold his axe out in the other hand, and maybe try looking up. And if we can maybe turn the head, maybe rotate the arm out a little bit. Then something like that. Move this leg forward a little bit, put this leg in. Getting the right balance for him is not easy, because there's a lot of plastic, there's a lot of armour on him that is preventing him from moving exactly the way that you want him to. I'm just trying to... Oh my goodness, I've moved the entire thing there. But if we just do something like that, and try and put the feet together a little bit. Now there's a little bit of thigh swivel as well, so that's good. Then there. Something like that looks pretty out. I think that looks alright. We have the axe more face in front of him. And obviously you have the second axe there if you want to. And if you want, you can bring the head and spine in a little bit closer, like so. Or maybe just have it up. I'm not entirely sure, I think I just injured my knee there. I do these videos kneeling down in front of this, and I think I just heard something click. It's not good. It's not initially painful, and I seem to be alright. So let's continue. An artist suffers for his work, as they say, and well, this is art, to an extent. Certainly my hobby. So, willing to put up with a set amount for it. Ah, right. If we do that, if we lean the ankle forward a bit and then bend the knee, then he stands much, much easier, like so. Unfortunately, this foot is still kind of hovering, if you can see that there, which is a little bit annoying, because I'm quite the bit of a perfectionist, which you might have guessed if you've watched my videos. So I'm just trying to get him in such a way that he's happy. There, something like that. I think that looks good. Maybe you can have the axe out, or maybe do that for more of a dynamic pose. Then maybe have the skull face the camera. Extend the arm out a bit like that. And there we go, yeah. I think that looks alright. So, we'll leave this axe here, and to close off our videos, what we do is we do a little bit of a size comparison. So let us see what we have. So let us go with the, well, makes most sense to go with the Mcfarlane counterpart for the Mortal Kombat 11 Scorpion. So you can see that is what he looks like in height comparison with his friend slash rival. Next we'll bring in the Strong Collectibles Mortal Kombat 1 Scorpion, so that Sub-Zero can be surrounded by all of his friends. If Scorpion would stand, there you go. So the Mcfarlane Scorpion, a little bit shorter than the Mcfarlane figures, but not so much that it would be off-putting. Next we'll bring in the San Diego Comic-Con Scorpion, because of course Sub-Zero needs all of his Scorpion friends, because after all, Scorpion is the best friend of Sub-Zero. It's not entirely true to anyone that knows the lore of Scorpion Sub-Zero. Next up we'll bring in the Mortal Kombat 3 Scorpion, who's a little bit taller, and the Mortal Kombat 3 Scorpion does fit a little bit more in line with Sub-Zero. The Mortal Kombat 3 one just a little bit taller, but not so much. And as you can see, that's them all lined up next to one another, and they don't look that out of place with one another. So, still pretty good. We'll remove the San Diego Comic-Con Scorpion, and for a laugh, let's bring it in the original Mortal Kombat 1, Mortal Kombat 2 Sub-Zero. You can see he's still in his dynamic pose of his freezing thing, so he's crouched down a little bit, but that gives you a rough idea of how Kuai Liang would look in comparison to the size of Bihan, which is the name of the first Sub-Zero and the second Sub-Zero, because they're not the same Sub-Zero. Sub-Zero in Mortal Kombat 1, he gets killed and becomes Noob Saibot. And let's bring in some others. So, how about the cybernetic range? There is Cyrax, who's a little bit taller, and he looks to be pretty good in comparison to Mcfarlane size. We'll bring in some characters from other games. Let's bring in Kazuya from the Tekken series of Storm Collectibles, which is a fairly good height comparison. Kazuya's a tiny bit taller, but not too much. And following the other characters, we'll bring in Shin Akuma from Street Fighter. This is the San Diego Comic-Con Street Fighter V Shin Akuma, even though he looks like the original Shin Akuma. But both, well, Shin Akuma in Street Fighter V does look like the original version, which is very, very nice. Next up, let's bring in from King of Fighters, the end boss, Rugal. So Rugal's obviously quite a bit taller than the other characters because he is the end boss. And you can see he is quite a bit taller. And next up, if any of you are crazy enough to go after the wrestling line, there is the Hulkster in comparison to Sub-Zero, and of course the Hulkster always has to do his hulking pose. It is mandated by law, I think. And last, let's finish up with a couple of boss characters. So he is not King, he is Khan, he is Shao Kahn, and there is the height comparison of the Emperor of Outworld in comparison to Mcfarlane Sub-Zero. And the Emperor of Outworld is in refusal to stand. We'll just pose you a little bit forward. There we go. And just for a laugh, instead of Shao Kahn, we just remove the helmet. Then we can make Hulk Hogue Kahn. And there you are. That is what the Hulkster would look like if he was Emperor of Outworld. Rather ridiculous is the answer. So let's just remove the Hulkster and Shao Kahn's helmet. We'll give that back to the Khan, the true Khan, Shao Kahn. There you are, Emperor. And last, let us bring in one of the larger Storm Collectibles, the Prince of the Shokan, Prince Goro. As you can see, Prince Goro is quite massive, so much so that he doesn't even fit in the camera. So let's just zoom up a little to give you the height comparison between Goro and Sub-Zero. And that is going to be it for this video, folks. I hope you all enjoyed, and if you did, please give a like, share and subscribe. Do check out the Discord channel below where you can talk to me and all the other fans, and we will see you all in the next video. Goodbye, everybody.